Okay, so the hammer. There's a couple things about the hammer. You have two different types of attacks you can do. You can do the side or the overhead smash, upswing. Okay, so that's the one combo you can do. Another combo is the Big Bang. So Big Bang 1, Big Bang 2, Big Bang 3, Big Bang 4, and then Big Bang Finisher. And that's another combo, so you can just sit there and spam circle if their enemy is just right in front of you. If you are moving in this with this weapon, you do change your attacks a little bit. So that becomes a side smash, and you can follow it with an overhead smash, okay, and then an upswing. It doesn't change the Big Bang, really, but you have to hit something with it. If you don't hit something with the Big Bang, it kind of slows you down. See how that slows you down a little bit? So if you hit something with the Big Bang, though, it bounces off. So you want to make sure that you're hitting something with this weapon. If you don't hit something with this weapon, it literally just slows you down. So you got to be very careful not to accidentally do that. And then you're like, I can't move. I got to, get out of the way. Always be hitting something with this weapon. So those are your basic combos with it, which you're not going to be using too much because the bread and butter of this particular weapon is its charge. So if you see up there, you hold down R2 to charge. We can start charging it up, and then you can get it up to the maximum charge here. So you can release this at any time to do the charge Big Bang, which is that right there. Easy to use. You can just release the button, and it does it. You can also do a charge step so that you don't lose your charge while you're trying to charge. So you are trying to charge up the weapon, an enemy's coming at you, you just dodge. You basically keep moving around. I find this weapon to have a lot more what is the word I'm looking for? Not versatility. Movement, I guess. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. I can't think of it. Anyway, it's a lot easier to move around when you're using this weapon than it is something like the Great Sword or some other. Yeah, mobility. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you very much. It's got a lot more mobility to it than you would think because if it's a giant hammer, right? But you can literally hold your charge down and dodge, right? It does spend your gauge, so be careful if you do this. Like, see, my gauge is going down. Just by charging, my stamina gauge continues to go down. And then when I actually dodge, it takes my stamina gauge down some more. So it's a very stamina-heavy thing, but the good part is, excuse me, you can move out of the way of a lot of enemies while charging up your weapon. All right, so let's talk about charging a little bit more. So that's couple things you can do with it. You can hold it down, you can charge, and then you can release it whenever you want to do some damage. You want to try to charge it up to level 3, so 1, 2, and 3, and then boom. So you'll actually do 2 hits if you're close enough to them. Get close enough here. 3. So we do 2 hits there. And I believe if you can hold this one, unlike the Great Sword, which you want to release on that third charge, you can hold this one as long as you like, and it doesn't matter. It's another great thing about this weapon, whereas the Great Sword, you need to release it as soon as you get that third charge. So now that we have the charging down, you want to also understand that you can do, if you look up at the top, it changes to a mighty charge at level 3. So now we can hit triangle and circle while we're in the charge phase, and we do this. And that just gets you into a mighty charge. Okay, just literally start spinning it around. Now, at this point, you cannot move very fast at all. But this one does significantly more damage if you hit with it. So boom, 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 and you do 151 more damage there at the end that you saw. It gets nuts, right? So that's how you're really going to do damage. When the enemy is down on the ground, you're going to be charging, doing whatever you can to get that charge up, dodging all of the attacks. Once you're at level 3, you're going to start doing this. Once that is fully charged, which kind of does that pulse, you're going to do this, do all the damage, and then you're going to go directly into a spinning bludgeon, and that will hit several times. It basically is 3 times, but you can see that it hits more than 3 times. So you kind of have to count down on this one and get the timing just right, because you want to try to swing. I'll show you real quick. You want to try to release that on the third swing. Where is it at? Is it this one? No, it's this one. Here we go, right there. So you have the overhead smash, okay, goes into the spinning bludgeon, which is what we were doing. You don't really want it. You can do overhead smash into spinning bludgeon, and it'll do kind of the same thing. But if you can do the mighty swing into the spinning bludgeon, and then you'll, on the third spinning bludgeon, you'll do a spinning strong upswing. You could do any of the three of these, but to get maximum damage, you want to do that spinning strong upswing. So if the enemy is down on the ground, this weapon absolutely dominates, because you get here, right? It's on the ground. You're now spinning, still on the ground, and you do this. Boom, boom, boom. Then you go into the spinning bludgeon. 2, 3. And then you go into the spinning upswing, and you get an extra 75 damage there at the end that you can see. So if you don't do that, if you just do, let's say, the first swing, you do this, then we go into spinning bludgeon. It kind of does the same thing, but you miss out on several of the other hits. So you can do that at any point that you want to. It's kind of hard to hit a smaller target like this, but against a big enemy, it's easy to hit multiple, because you're just going to basically just roll right down the side of these larger enemies and constantly be doing damage, and then follow that up with that upswing. That's basically it for the hammer. It's also another very, very easy weapon, much like the dual blades. I think those are two of the easier weapons to use, very much beginner weapons, and they can do a significant amount of damage. They're just very different. With the dual blades being very fast, this weapon is much slower, but both of them have a decent amount of mobility, since you can, run around and dodge while you hold down your charge, and then when you're ready, you just charge up. You release that, and then spinning bludgeon, boom, 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 and then upswing, and then rinse and repeat. And that's basically this weapon. That is essentially all you can do with this weapon. If you want to, you can do the big bang. Just be careful if you're going to do the big bang. You get the big bang 4, and then instantly go into that mighty charge if you want to. Which is a way to do that instead of just holding it down and trying to dodge. I like to do it this way, because I'm holding it down to dodge, and I'm getting out of the way of the enemy. If you try to do the big bang and you miss, though, like I said, you will move very slowly. Like, oh, I actually hit it because it was behind me. But if you miss, you have a very long recovery time. But if you don't miss, that is the better way to do it. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. Right into a mighty swing, release the mighty swing, and then spinning bludgeon right after that, and then follow to an upswing. Boom. So that would be your best combo overall if you want to try to put them all together if the enemy is on the ground. But that's just a matter of how you want to play the game. I personally like to mostly just run around like this and wait for that opportune moment to then smash them like that, essentially, and then go into the spinning after that. All right, that is the hammer.